257. The challenge being the coach is, so I'm an Army officer right now, and winning is kind of the only thing that's acceptable at West Point. They stress a culture of winning. We try to spin whatever happens as a victory. When we made it to the semifinals, we were happy. We were one of 2 American teams, but there was another service academy who was one of those teams. So then our new goal was to beat them so we could be the best American team. And then once we surpass that, then the objective is, okay, we'll win the whole thing. But just always trying to have that and these are competitive people. They don't like losing. They stayed up until it was almost 6 a.m. The decision document was due at 7 a.m. They really are dedicated, and all I do is try to encourage them, enable them, provide feedback whenever they ask it, provide criticism as appropriate, and then provide encouragement when needed as well. We've got different elements of making an argument, giving a presentation, exuding confidence, responding to judges, interactions, so many different elements of this competition, and we strive for excellence in all of them. The best thing you can do to prepare is possibly try and get your hand on an old scenario. I know that the old competition, at least the finals, are on YouTube. We view this as essentially equivalent to a class. It's not a class, it's not for credit. They do it all in their spare time. But I work at the Army Cyber Institute at West Point, and we have a lot of very intelligent resources available for the cadets. We have speakers who will come in, and we'll invite the cadets to that. But really, we try to let the cadet tell us what they want, and we seek for a way to find it. Before this competition, we knew that they were weak in international law. We asked a lawyer to speak to them for an hour about international law, and we do similar things whenever we get an area that we're not really clear on. So for this competition, we have to learn about the EU. We invited our European politics professor to talk to them, and we also forced them to learn things themselves about the EU, about the charter of the EU, about the makeup, about different definitions of Europe. Are we talking the European Monetary Union? Are we talking the Council of Europe? Are we talking the European Union? Are we talking the continent of Europe? What are the differences? What are the consistencies? What is the role of NATO in this? What is the role of defense within the European Union? What are the boundaries between the member states and the EU when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to trade, when it comes to cyber, when it comes to defense? There are a lot of gray areas, and the more we can get them to understanding some of these gray areas, the more nuanced they're able to approach the problem. Understanding the institutions, we do as much as we can to prepare them beforehand, and then when we get the scenario, we realize we still know nothing. So last year it was the aviation sector. We could have prepared for another 10 months and wouldn't have looked at a single agency involved with aviation. This year, the maritime sector caught us completely off guard. I know in one of the briefings the first day, we continue in the mood of we're here to learn. So the second briefing of the competition, we're taking pictures of every slide. There's a bullseye photo of all of the maritime sectors. We look up every single one of those organizations, and we're kind of stuck with what we're doing in the first round, but we know that the second round we can make rapid improvements. And then as far as just preparing for the challenge of the competition itself, it helps to know what to expect. I would encourage other coaches to watch the finals from last year, see the interaction with the judges. The great thing about the finals is you're watching 4 great teams, and you know that the judges are the best of the best. They are all experts. What I tell my students is, you're not smarter than the judge. If the judge is asking you a question, don't get defensive. They know what they want. If you don't know it, acknowledge that. Your strengths, your weaknesses, understanding how to respond to questions, and understanding how to thrive in situations of ambiguity and uncertainty, and be okay being uncertain.